Match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit for the Central States television title. Introducing first the challenger from Lansing, Kansas, weighing in at 292 pounds, Big Steve Ray. And introducing the Central States television champion from Japan, 231 pounds, the current television champion, Masa Chono. One fall with a 15-minute time limit for the Central States television title. All right, fans, there we have it. We're starting this hour off on a bang. A Central States television title match right here on All-Star Wrestling this hour. Dave, I expect to see some pretty good wrestling from these two.
Well, you know, Jay, it's going to be kind of the matchup between the wrestler and the strength and the brute force that Steve Ray has against the speed and the agility of Chono.
Well, don't discount that Steve Ray does have some amateur background to him when he came in here. And, of course, he was trained by Sonny Myers, who probably has forgotten more about wrestling than you and I ever learned.
That's right. You know, Steve Ray showed right there what his strength is all about. Look at that. That's a 240-pound man right over his head.
And I think that's the power you were just talking about a minute ago. Big high slam.
You know, Steve Ray was a teenage world champion powerlifter.
That's right, in the state of Kansas.
He squatted like, I think, close to 800 pounds as a teenager.
That's just awesome. Well, that doesn't happen by accident, Dave, and of course it doesn't happen overnight. And Dave's shown the same kind of training in wrestling that he showed to achieve the great records he did in powerlifting. Masa Chono sizing him up right now. You know, obviously Chono's a little confused after this early show of power here.
He's getting shown a little bit more of it too.
Well, I tell you, Steve Ray's got that full Nelson applied on Chono, and I don't know if Chono's got much of a chance to get out of it.
You know, if that full Nelson's applied just right, it'll work the same principle as a sleeper.
The referee calls for a break here. Chono barely makes it to the ropes.
I don't think he was too sure about what he was doing right there. Steve Ray just dropped him right on his head.
Well, the referee called for a break.
He's blaming the referee for it, right?
Well, the referee called for a break, and Steve Ray complied. He gave him a break. Of course, he nearly broke his neck instead of the hold. Fans, later this hour, we got some great matches coming up. Right now, look at some of the fans enjoying the action here. For our fans at home, we're down here in Nevada, Missouri tonight, and once again, the All-Star Wrestling camera crew on tour. You never know when we might be coming to your town. Whenever you see All-Star Wrestling and the World Wrestling Alliance coming to your town, make your plans to get out and be at the matches. Not only are the matches a lot more exciting when you're here in person, but you never know when the camera crew will be there.
Oh, a little bit of hair pulling right there. Chono's got that side headlock on there tight.
Well, Chono trying to disguise the hair pull by making what would otherwise be a legal takedown.
Don't you hate that little smirking grin he's got? I hate that.
But Dave, I just don't trust Japanese people too much myself to begin with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Dave, we got some big matches coming up later this hour, and I know you'll be watching. Look at that standoff. Now it was Chono that came off with the momentum, and he was unable to knock Big Steve over.
I'm going to try it one more time.
Well, it's not working, I can tell you that.
He's blaming the referee again for his weaknesses.
I don't think the ref had much to do with that. Well, you can't take anything away from Chono. You know, we've talked about it in weeks past. Say what you want about the man. He's an excellent wrestler. And right there, he showed a little bit of craftiness.
Oh!
But Steve Ray! And Chono showing the effects of that miss.
How's he going to blame the referee for that one?
Dave, you know, as all the fans know here in the Central States, you defeated Bob Brown for the Central States heavyweight title on Christmas night in St. Joseph, Missouri. Now, it took you quite a while. I know you've been in the sport a few years. You worked long and you worked hard. And winning that first title meant a lot to you. Steve Ray's in his position tonight. He's a young man without a championship.
He's young and he's hungry, and when you got something to drive for, you drive that much harder.
Well, you could just imagine Steve Ray he gives 110% every night, but you know tonight he's really got that extra adrenaline flowing.
Speaking of Bob Brown, you know, he's got one of his former proteges he's been bringing in here trying to get his title back for him.
None other than Eddie Hot Stuff Gilbert,
yeah,
I take
Eddie
it.
Hot Stuff Gilbert.
Well, of course, you had a run-in with Eddie, and I think the fans saw it here just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but I'm still champion. That's the way it's going to stay. You know, Brown can bring Eddie Gilbert in. He can bring Tommy Gilbert, anybody he wants to.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
You know, I've heard stories about Eddie Gilbert using fire now. Heard something about in Tennessee, he used fire on Jerry Lawler.
You're absolutely right, Dave. I had an opportunity to view a piece of film last week where Eddie Gilbert, in fact, burned Jerry Lawler in the face in a match that took place in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of a person that Brown would help train, doesn't it?
Somehow it sure does. You know, Dave, speaking of that, it might be
eye gouger right there.
I tell you what, now that you
There's no need
mentioned
for
that film clip, I'm gonna talk to Bob Geigel and see if there's any way that we can get a hold of that film clip, because I know you haven't had an opportunity to see it, and I want you to see exactly what he did.
There's no reason for that. Chono can wrestle. He don't have to do that.
He's raking right at the eyes of Steve Ray. Obviously, he's having a problem countering the effective wrestling that Steve Ray's done so far in the power, and he's resorting to the eyes, and right here, an obvious chokehold. Right now, Chono directing comments right here toward you, Dave.
He better worry about what he's got in the ring, not worry about me.
Yeah, he's got his hands full in the ring. I think for that moment, he felt he had control of this match and took the opportunity to mouth off at you.
Don't underestimate Steve. We were talking earlier about young and hungry. You don't give up easy when you're young and hungry.
Well, one thing I've observed from Steve Ray, there's simply no quit in a man.
There's a thumb right in the throat. I can see it from here. Sonny Myers can't. You know.
Well, you know, Chono knows what he's doing. He's going to naturally control in Steve Ray's head. He's going to turn his body in a position where the referee's blinded by it.
There's certain instances when I wish they had instant replay in pro wrestling, man. It wouldn't do it again.
I agree with you.
The matches would be over and done before they got a chance to view it.
Steve Ray trying to come back. And once again, Chono goes right to the eyes of Steve Ray.
Look at that grin. Don't you hate it?
Yeah, he thinks he's really getting by with something here. He hasn't out-wrestled a man. Steve Ray's totally outpowered, even outthought him at times. The only way Chono's still in this match is by shortcuts like eye gouging.
Well, these are all legal kicks here. You can't take...
All with the point of the toe. Of course, for the fans at home, the bottom of the foot perfectly legal. The point of the boot totally illegal.
That would knock the breath out of him.
Well, Steve Ray's pretty big to be coming down on the mat.
Whoa!
Whoa. How's that for a bit of power? You mentioned how much he can squat. I wonder how much he could bench press.
Steve benches right close to 500 pounds.
Jeez. Whoa!
Oh, my.
There's that side kick. That could be... Wait a minute. Chono not content with a pin. I think he might have had Steve Ray right there. And Chono going to the top rope, obviously sensing that Steve Ray's a victim and ready for the kill. Chono, oh, and Steve Ray one step ahead, ready for that one.
Bullseye. Whoa.
He caught him, Steve, down for the cover. Count of 1, 2. Oh, Chono barely out. Oh, what a bulldog.
I don't think Steve used that before.
I haven't either, Dave. What a move. That could be a count of 2. And oh. Dave, like we said, we haven't seen Steve Ray apply that, and he sure did it with great perfection.
Backdrop. Beautiful backdrop.
High elevation backdrop on the part of Steve Ray. And Steve Ray's got to be feeling good right now.
You can hear the fans behind him, too. They want to win here for Steve Ray.
Steve Ray moving in for the kill, and there's a patented power slam. Chono is put on the rope. I don't think Chono had the power to even kick out of that one. Steve Ray is just totally dominating Chono right now.
Got the eyes one more time. Another karate kick.
Chono stopped him with the... Throws him in the ropes. That one knocked both of them back. Both men are down. Big double knockout in the ring. Dave, at this point, I think both of them are a little bit tired.
Come on, Steve, you got to get up.
Chono a little quicker to his feet. Chono for the cover. Count of one. Count of two. Steve Ray's.
Steve's feet are on the
Steve
rope.
Ray's feet were on the rope. Wait a minute. That's it.
What?
The winner of the time of the match, 8 minutes, 52 seconds. Your winner is still television champion, Masa Chono. Dave, I think from our vantage point, Steve Ray got his feet on the rope. I clearly saw where his feet were on the rope. I think what's happened here